My name is Cheyenne Cooper, and this is my presentation for Cognition, Memory, and Psycholinguistics for our final paper. I know this is supposed to be pretty interesting or make fun or have some fun with it, but I consider myself to be pretty boring, so I'm going to try to do my best. Memory and cognition. Without one, I really don't think you can have the other. Cognition is the mental processes of thinking, remembering, perceiving, understanding, and the act of using all these is what it's made up of. Memory is the mental process by which information is acquired, maintained, and also stored, so we can gain it and get it at a different time. We use both to do tasks like recognizing someone's name, recognizing people we've seen, objects, problem solving, thinking of ideas, and our attitudes about situations. Memory is a retrieval system for both the conscious recalling and automatic recalling of information, and it's made up of short-term memory, long-term memory. Short-term memory, also known as working memory, has a limited capacity for information and what can be manipulated and worked with. Our long-term memory is where memories are stored and can be retrieved for later. There is declarative memory and non-declarative memory. Declarative is like facts and events that we are exposed to. Non-declarative is like our habits, our classical conditioning, non-associative learning. We also have episodic and semantic memories. Episodic are memories that are relevant to me as a person. So my memory of going to Disney World a couple years ago and getting stuck in the parking area because we forgot to turn our lights off is something that will stick with me forever. Semantic memory is the general world knowledge and things that we're exposed to. Sweet memories is how we store and receive information is through our long-term working memory. In sensory stores is information that we receive through our senses, so what we're seeing, hearing, smelling. Part of the information is transferred into our working memory where we manipulate and work with the memory. Like I said before, there's a limited capacity in our working memory to manipulate things. Memories are transmitted to long-term memory using things like rehearsals that we've talked about in class, like mnemonic devices. Information and general knowledge is processed into our long-term memory using schemas. Schemas code information, details, and characteristics about the information that we process. They interconnect with other schemas and help retrieve information from our long-term memories. In 1956, Miller stated that our working memory could only hold about 7 chunks of information, give or take 2. I was actually reading something as well that some even think it's even smaller amounts of information that's chunked together, and the chunking is information that's related to each other, so sections of phone numbers and things like that. A fun video for this is the video of from Disney's Inside Out. I'm such a huge Disney fan, so this is such a cute little movie about memories and how we store memories. It's not completely accurate, but I think it gives a good idea of memories.
Anyway, these are Riley's memories, and they're mostly happy, you'll notice, not to brag. But the really important ones are over here. I don't want to get too technical, but these are called core memories. Each one came from a super important time in Riley's life. Like when she first scored a goal. It was so amazing. Each core memory powers a different aspect of Riley's personality. Like Hockey Island. Goofball Island is my personal favorite. Yep, Goofball is the best.
So that's just a fun little movie about our working memories and how our memories are stored. Um, we also have the propensity to have things like false memories because our memories aren't perfect. Memories can kind of be implanted, and we remember things that we didn't necessarily do. Some evidence from a study by Loftus is that family members are always typically involved to make it seem more realistic. If somebody's telling us that they were there and they saw it, we're more likely to believe it. The memory has to have a salience to us. Like, it can't just be something random that we would never believe that we would actually experience. And it's also important to look at the possible implications that false memories can have, like accusing someone of doing something that they didn't do and then they actually beginning to believe they did it because someone is saying it. Linguistics versus psycholinguistics. Psycholinguistics is a study of language as it's learned and used by people, whereas linguistics is the study of like the language system itself. Linguistics is much more formal and has more of like a single model, whereas psycholinguistics is multidisciplinary and takes a look at language from different approaches. It's less formal and can look at more things that it's composed of. Noam Chomsky is kind of the one that was the man behind this because he didn't accept the behaviorist ideas for language. Psycholinguistics and memory are related to cognition because Chomsky believed that language is formed in the mind. It's like a biological function just of who we are. So there's a difference among languages and how we speak it, but no matter where a child is, for example, they can learn the language. As we age, our cognitive abilities, language, and memory is all affected. As we get older, some of our things start to decay and deteriorate, so we have more situations like tip of the tongues and forgetting words and spelling errors, and our working memory can only hold so much, so we have to focus more on like a cognitive processes like walking instead of memorizing something if we're doing two things at one time. And this is especially important in things like Alzheimer's and dementia. And that's